Okay, so this is the third video in our series for today. And as the third video, I need to give just a little bit of introduction to this little guy right here. This is on page 492 in your textbook. And what you're seeing here is the specific heat for several different substances. Remember we said we get specific heat by taking, let's take aluminum. If I have 0.897 grams of aluminum, I could go ahead and do a specific heat for it, and the amount of aluminum that I use would be irrelevant actually. But any amount of aluminum, and then I have my temperature change, and I find out how many joules it's going to require, or I put in how many joules did that. I can calculate this number knowing the joules that I put in, the grams that I have, and the change in temperature that occurred when I put in some number of joules. Now, who has a higher specific heat, aluminum or iron? Aluminum. That means it takes more heat to get that aluminum hot, right? Now, would you rather have a pan with an aluminum handle or a pan with an iron handle? Why do you want an iron handle?
It gets hot faster. Right?
Oh, you want your hands to get burned. Ah, you wanna have the print of the handle on your hand. Yes. See, so you can open your hand and say, "Look, you see, that's where my handle was when I grabbed it." Ah, okay, that's why they make handles out of aluminum. Okay. They make handles out of aluminum. Why? Because the specific heat is higher. It takes more heat to get it hot, to raise the temperature. You use aluminum to make your handles. Why? Because the aluminum takes more heat to raise the temperature. Same amount of heat, half the temperature. The handle of the pot. Yeah, the handle of the pot. Yeah. The pot itself can be anything. But I want that handle to be made out of aluminum. Thank you very much. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and do the first problem. Right out of the textbook here. Okay? In this problem, we're going to be given the temperature. Still reading it? Yes, we are. And if the temperature of 34.4 grams of ethanol increases from, now you see how that works? They're telling you how much it increases. 25 to 78.8. How much heat has been absorbed by the who? Ethanol. Okay, well, let's go through and do this one. And Robert, we're going to start with you. You're going to give us our given and find, please. Are you on page 495?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on page 495, and we're doing number 4. Okay, what's our given?
34.4.
I'm sorry?
34.4 grams of
34.4 grams of
ethanol.
ethanol. Good. Go.
And then 25 degrees Celsius.
All right, 25 degrees Celsius. Is that our temperature change?
No.
Okay, what else do we know?
78.8 degrees Celsius.
Oh, well, that means that it changed temperature to 78.8. All right, now if we change temperature to 78.8, what was that temperature change? How much?
33. Oh no.
What? 53.8, yes. You don't need a calculator for that. Degrees centigrade. Okay, now what else do we know? Or what are we supposed to find?
How much heat has been absorbed by the ethanol?
Okay, how much heat? We're looking for joules, yes. All right. Now, do we have the specific heat of ethanol?
Yeah.
Where do we go for that? All right, we go right over here, and what's our specific heat? I'm sorry?
2.44.
Okay, so it's 2.44. And Robert, what's the unit of measure for this? Look at the top of the column. No, try again. Joules. Okay, joules. Now I'm going to write it a little differently than the way you see it. Grams, degrees centigrade. You understand why I did that? Okay, makes it a little easier for you to see what it really is. Okay, now, how are we going to get started? James, can you tell us, are we going to have joules, 2.44 joules, or grams, degrees centigrade on top when we go to solve this problem? Huh? Can't hear you. Grams, degrees centigrade? You want gram, degrees centigrade on top. Is that consistent with what we're asked to find? Look what we're asked to find. That's what goes on top. So what goes on top? Yes. 2.44 joules over grams, degrees centigrade. All right? That's the starting. Anik, what's next? What do we do with our grams?
You put it on top.
Put it on top because?
Because you want to cancel.
Good. 34.4 degrees centigrade. And how much time? Yeah. Okay. Or grams, I'm sorry. Over 1. Now, what's next? We're going to go for Rima. Would you tell us what are we going to do with our temperature change? Good. Why is it on top? Yeah, 53.8 degrees centigrade over 1. And then you go ahead and run the numbers. All you have to do is multiply across. Okay? And Ani's going to get us a number for that, and I'm going to get started on number 5. So, while we're waiting for that number, and what's the unit of measure, Ashley? What's the unit of measure I'm going to have over here when we get the number? What? Joules, yes. Okay, so this is joules, and our calculator gave us 4,515 joules. And that's our answer. Okay? And Alex, you're on. Would you tell us what's given and what's defined? I don't want you to be nervous or anything, Alex.
Don't be nervous.
Are you still filming this?
Yes. Okay, I tell you what, we'll start this on another video. We're going to stop for now.